All right, here we go. Hey y'all, hello everybody, how are you doing? Let's turn this down. Hi everybody, welcome to Rubber Duck Thursday. I am Kadesha, your hostess with the mostess. I'm just kidding. I'm not the hostess with the mostest. I'm just here to chill with you, hang out, vibe, answer questions. Hey y'all. Sorry I missed you last week. We have been full steam ahead preparing for Universe. And, with all the preparations, couldn't make it work, couldn't make the stream work, but I was determined to make sure to come live today to chat with you guys. Hey y'all, thank you for joining. All right. So I'm Kadesha. I see your name. Where are you joining from? I'm in Chicago. It's pretty chilly outside, honestly. I feel the winter coming in. Winter is coming. But today I don't have a lot planned for today. So today I figured I would talk about GitHub Universe, answer any questions you have. And honestly, lately I've been thinking a lot about the very, very intensely fast pace of AI. Just like how the world is expected to know this technology, to use this technology at work, as engineers, as developers, to build, to grow. um and the pace is kind of outpacing the education and training that's available. So I've been thinking about that a lot. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that. And I've been seeing some news and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. So you're in Charlotte. I can keep that cold. Yeah, I know. I will keep the cold. No problem. I bet Charlotte is pretty warm this time of year. But that's what's been on my mind in addition to GitHub Universe. So GitHub Universe starts next week. If you're not going to be there in person, that's okay. You can join us virtually. So we have virtual tickets available and it's 100% free. So if you go to githubuniverse.com, you'll be able to sign up to attend GitHub Universe virtually. And I would encourage you to, because we have quite the show in store for you next week. And if you join virtually, you may or may not, get access to things, because of your virtual registration. So be sure to check that out. I'm going to pop the link up here in 1 second. Great. Go to githubuniverse.com and sign up for a virtual pass. If you're not able to come in person, if you're coming in person, be sure to come and say hi. I'll be all around the universe place doing things and being, my Kadesha self. But today, yeah. So if you have any questions, let me know. And let me know what you think about AI adoption. Let me know if you want us to build something, which is what we always have fun doing here. I did see that we had a new model available in Copilot, the Claude 4.5 Haiku, I think. Let me just yeah, Claude Haiku 4.5 is now available. It is a cheaper model, which is interesting. I haven't been using it much for coding. I've mostly been using it to, like brainstorm ideas, to plan things out. And it's fine. I'm still pretty biased towards Claude Sonnet 3.5 and even Claude Sonnet 4. But if you've tried it, let me know how that's going. So Adrian is sitting on a flight from Auckland to Brisbane. Oh, whoa, you're joining us from a flight? That's so cool. I didn't know you could watch live streams from a flight. That's incredible. Silicon Valley, California. We have Ukraine. Winter is coming. It absolutely is. So Brian is in Seattle. Thanks for joining, Brian. And hey, John, I recognize the name in the photos. Like a lot of your photos, I'm recognizing now because we've been doing this for a while. But yeah, if you're new to the stream, thanks for joining. It's a very chill stream. We just chit chat, answer questions, and vibe. So let me share my screen so we can go through the change log because we've been super busy at GitHub. Okay, Brian, Gemini 2.5 Pro was added to GitHub Copilot. That's incredible. Gemini 2.5 Pro is such a great model. I feel like it's underrated and it's not spoken about enough, but it's really good. And because of its huge context window, you can really do a lot with that single model. Bangladesh. Wow, India, Poland. Wow, you guys are just joining from all across the globe. That's incredible. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Hello from Mexico. Hello, Jesus. Thank you for joining. Cyprus. Wow. Cyprus. Sorry. So let's go to the change logs. So I'm going to share my screen here. As usual, I need to pop you guys onto my other screen. So let's do that. Boop. Hello from France. Whoa. Salut! Welcome. Thanks for joining, Kenya, Paris. Sometimes I forget Brazil. Sometimes I forget how global our audience is here at GitHub. And I need to remember that. I need to remember that I'm always speaking to an international audience. I hope that you're able to do like translation in your native in your language if that's possible through the platforms. Sri Lanka. Wow, that's awesome. Incredible. So here's someone sharing their current workflow, and I'm going to share the changelog. Hold on. So this person says, currently I'm using Gemini Pro for planning, Claude for design, and GPT for cleanup and repairs. Love that. I love that approach to using the models. I always say this, don't be scared of using different models for different things, because different models are good for different use cases. That's actually something that I need to write about. But I'm curious, how do you evaluate a model whenever a new one comes about? How do you determine whether or not to use it and what it's good for? Curious how you guys are approaching that. But let's go to the changelog here. Let me just share my screen. I'm going to share screen 1. Let's just go full screen. And boop. There we go. All right. So yeah, our last ship was on October 20th. Yeah, that's this week. So we've been busy shipping a whole bunch of stuff, right? So let's take a look at what we've been doing. And then I'll answer some questions. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. And as we go through today's session, I'll just answer questions. I think that's what we'll do today. I'll just answer whatever questions you have about GitHub Copilot, GitHub Universe, and do a wrap up like that. So, yep, Claude Haiku 4.5 is generally available in all supported IDEs, so not just VS Code, which is very exciting. So you can go ahead and use that model. So if you go into VS Code is the editor that I use. So if you go into VS Code, you go to Claude, you go to the the model picker here. You'll see that we have Claude Haiku 4.5. We have Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is no longer like in preview. It's now fully available, and we have a lot more models. So if you click on this Manage Models button here, you'll see that you can actually bring your own model, right? So you can, select Open Router, Google OpenAI, Ollama, whichever, Azure. You can bring in whatever model you want from these providers by adding your API key, right? So if I select Ollama, for example, hold on, something should have happened. 1 second. Oh. Okay, yeah, this pop-up should come and you can just pop in your API key and then you can use that model that you want to use. So that's one thing I love about GitHub Copilot. It is model agnostic. So you can just, use whatever model you like. But if you open up the model picker and click Manage Models and click on Copilot, you can actually select what models you want to show up in your model picker. Sometimes it may get too long, and you just want it to be scoped to your preferred models. That's something that you can do. I thought that was a pretty neat feature because now it's a lot shorter, and we can go from there. There's also the auto picker, so like the auto model picker here, where GitHub Copilot will intuitively choose what model to use based on the task that you're performing. So let's say, for example, if you're trying to plan out a feature in your application, GitHub Copilot may choose to use Gemini 2.5 for the planning, right? So, and then if you're actually implementing some tests, it may choose to use Claude Sonnet 4.5 or even GPT 4.1. So this auto model picker is actually a really great feature. I've been having a lot of fun using it, and you can check that out. But I think the point was that Claude Haiku 4.5 is available, and it's actually a cheaper model if you see the pricing tier right here. Okay, so let's go back to the changelog. That's pretty exciting. So it's available in Xcode, Eclipse, Visual Studio, JetBrains, GitHub Mobile, GitHub Copilot CLI. Wow, all the things, and all the places. So that's very exciting. Also, another question I have is how many of you have been enjoying the Copilot CLI? Tell me in the comments. Tell me if you've been loving the GitHub Copilot CLI. I think it's chef's kiss. I think it's a really good addition to the Copilot suite of products. But I'm curious to know what you think about it. All right, so Copilot knowledge bases can now be converted to Copilot spaces. And how many of you know about Copilot spaces? I'm very curious. Let me know in the chat. Let me turn off that, refresh, turn that off. I'll go to here. I'll show you Copilot spaces. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not showing anything crazy here. All right, so let me show you Copilot spaces and what that looks like, just in case you haven't seen it before. So this is Copilot spaces here. So Copilot spaces allows you to create like customized spaces to organize your files, your pull requests, your issues. I use it a lot for writing, helping to gather and write the script for the show The Download. If you know about the show The Download, we do use GitHub Copilot a lot to help us streamline the process of that show. And so you can simply come here, not simply, but if you come to the Spaces tab here and click on Create Space, now you can name your space. Let's call this Rubber Duck Testing. I'm just gonna call it that. I'm gonna be the owner here. And this is what your new space looks like. You can choose from a variety of models to use in your space. You can add files, you can add repositories as context, you can upload documents as context. So like if you're familiar with ChatGPT and even Claude, they have what's known as projects. You can think of Copilot spaces as similar to a project in ChatGPT and Claude, where you add all that additional context, or like all that context, you add some custom instructions where you define Copilot's role, the focus, the goal, what you're working on, and then you can go ahead and make your requests here. I think Copilot Spaces is so great. I would love to do, maybe one of these Robotic Thursdays, we can go through every single GitHub Copilot feature that's available because there are a plenty. I'm gonna have to go through your comments soon. But you can also install MCP servers via the GitHub MCP registry in Copilot Spaces, which I think is incredible, right? So there's a lot you can do. Here. And then, look at that. Add repos, link files, upload, add content. I think this is like, you can just like type regular text content. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So if you haven't used Copilot Spaces before, make sure you check that out, because now you can turn your knowledge bases, if you remember those, into Copilot Spaces, which is really great. So be sure to go to the changelog and check that out, because it's exciting. Let me check some of your comments to see what I've been missing. Let's see. Okay, so we have Chile in the house. It's just a lot of people. Welcome. I'm Kadesha. Okay. Okay, so great question here. So is there a benefit to running Copilot CLI versus VS Code extension? So I wouldn't necessarily classify it as benefit or not benefit. I would say you can use GitHub Copilot where you prefer to work best, or like wherever you prefer to work. So we wanted to make sure that if you wanted to use GitHub Copilot in your code editors, in your terminal, or even on github.com, that you can, right? And so in your editor, you can use GitHub Copilot using the GitHub Copilot extension, right? You can use GitHub Copilot now in your terminals with the GitHub Copilot CLI. And the GitHub Copilot CLI, fun fact, is kind of like the front end of the Copilot coding agent runtime on github.com. And you can also use GitHub Copilot on github.com, where you can assign your issues to it. You can give it different things to do and all that jazz. So I wouldn't classify it as a benefit. I would just say we want to make sure that you can use GitHub Copilot where you work best, or like where you prefer to work. So we wanted to give you all the options there. Hopefully that answered your question. Let me know if it didn't, and let me know if you have more questions. Okay, so consider online since it's global, we can't make attending. I think this is in reference to GitHub Universe. So GitHub Universe, if you didn't know, it's happening next week. And we do have virtual passes available. And virtual passes are 100% free. So you can join us at GitHub Universe from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your couch and your screens, by signing up for a free virtual pass. I'm going to pop up the githubuniverse.com link here. So if you go to githubuniverse.com, sign up for a free virtual pass, you'll get access to GitHub Universe, and you can watch us. You can watch from home and join the fun. It's going to be so much fun. And actually, I may be streaming from GitHub HQ next Thursday, so that should be fun and interesting. I just have to, set it up properly. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? I'm trying to go through. Hold on. A lot of comments here. Currently I use, okay, I did that one. I just answered this question. I just answered this one. Okay, so earlier I asked, I'm curious how you are evaluating models whenever a new model is available for you to use. And so Hashim here says, I have a standard prompt to make an employee directory. That's how I eval modules. Love that approach. Curious about it. Tell me more. Tell me more about this, Hasham. Would love to know what your approach is. This person says, I don't use AI models. That's okay. That's cool. That's cool. I'm curious why not? Tell me more. Is this open source GitHub? Yes, Kiran, welcome. This is GitHub's weekly Roboduck Thursday live stream where we build, we talk, answer questions. It's pretty much just a very chill, relaxed stream. And yes, it's the official GitHub channel, yes. Yeah, okay, Eric. I will have to look into subtitles. I'll have to look into how we can make subtitles available. Let me just make a note here. Make subtitles available on stream. Yeah, I will reach out to the team about this so that we can make sure that the stream is accessible. If you want to... Adding Olama is a nice feature. Yeah. You can definitely bring your own Olama key and use that. Okay, so I'm trying to sign up. It's asking for registration charges. You may have selected the incorrect thing. So let's take a look at that right now, and then we'll go back to the changelog. So when you go to githubuniverse.com, you should come to this page. Click on Get Passes. And then you'll see that you can select the free virtual pass here. This one. Interesting. This almost looks like you can sign up for free. Hold on. Let's try. If I click register now, sign in to register. So you have to sign in with your GitHub account to register. That's not really going to work for me because I've already signed up. But one second, let me stop sharing because I don't know what type of secrets it's going to show. Let me do sign in with GitHub. And all it says is see you at Universe 2025 because I'm already registered. Let's see, one second. Oh, now it switched to my agenda because I signed up. Okay, if I use this in... Interesting, get passes. Sign up for updates. I think to do... Very interesting. I'll ask the team about this because it almost looks like you're not able to sign up for the free pass. But I think if you do sign up for updates here, stay updated on speakers, sessions, and virtual registration. Okay, so you'll get notified. Yeah, I'll have to ask the team about that. One second. Let me send a message right now, actually. Hold on. 1 second. Enjoy the music. Okay, so I just sent a message. To the team. Hopefully we get a response while we're here. I'll keep an eye out for a message coming through because you should be able to sign up for a free pass, right? It's free. So I'll let you know what happens. If it doesn't happen on stream, follow me on LinkedIn and send me a DM and I'll respond to you. Okay, so Fabrizio said, hello from Italy. Hello. I use Gemini only for dynamic. Hold on. It's kind of small. I went in with JSON, browse the language section, and manual search by my projects, selective loading, wow, you're using Gemini for a lot. You said only for, but that's quite a bit to use Gemini for. That's pretty great. Yes, Gemini 2.5 does have, it has a 1 million token context window. if it worked better as my planning mode. Give it a try. It's really, really great at planning. It's great at evaluating different types of media as well. Like it's really good at video and audio evaluation. So if you're building a product and let's say you're building an application that evaluates a video for accessibility, you can use the Gemini 2.5 Pro model for that, which I think is really great. Kadesha, how do you like GPT-5 Codex? Is it in your workflow? Bows head in shame. I have not tried it yet. I have not tried GPT 5 Codex. So it's not in my workflow at this moment. I cannot tell a lie. I cannot tell a lie. You know, sometimes things just... I cannot. I have not tried it. So I love the way you're using coding agents. So I created a YOLO supervisor as a GitHub Actions. That way, when I delegate to the coding agent, the supervisor automatically provide guidance and corrective measures. I would love to see this in action. I'm really so curious about how you are using GitHub Copilot, whether it be in your IDE, in the CLI, or on github.com. I'm so curious how you're using it in your workflows to be more productive or just to have more fun as an engineer. And, like what type of automations you're doing. Like, this sounds incredible. I'd love to see how you do that. And so we can write about it. I would love to do that. All right, so there are a lot of comments here. Okay. I used 2.5 Flash API for AI applications recently. Nice. I use it in VS Code. It works well. Awesome. How to follow you. Oh, if you go to LinkedIn and just search my name, you will find me. Just join in. What are we exploring today? Honestly, we are chit-chatting. So I'm talking about GitHub Universe that's happening next week. If you're not able to join in person, we would love to have you join us virtually. And we noticed that there seemed to be something with the virtual registration. So I sent a message to the team waiting for responses back. And we've been going through the GitHub changelog to see what's shipped. Not really doing much building, vibe coding, vibe engineering, whatever you want to call it today. Just pretty much talking, answering questions. It's literally just a co-working session at this point. Okay. So when you select the free pass, it adds you to the list. Okay, great. That's good to know. Love this, Douglas. So you created a community pantry application that registers users for a nonprofit. The AI guides them to the correct service. Love that. I love when technology is used for social good. Love that. Would love to see that project. Send it to me on LinkedIn. I'd love to take a look at it. All right, so let's get back to the changelog, shall we? And if you do want me to build something, let me know what you would like us to take a stab at, or we can continue building upon a project that we've been working on with the time that we have left. Yeah, let me know what you're up to. So Copilot CLI got some improvements, multi-line input, new MCP enhancements, and Haiku 4.5 model. Whoa. Let's see. The GitHub Copilot CLI now supports multi-line input via Shift-Enter in the terminals that support Qt protocol, the integrated terminal in VS Code, and its forks can be configured to support multi-line input by running /terminal setup command. Great. Claude Haiku 4.5 support, a new model dawns. Love that. Easier MCP server setup. Yay. So if you've used Copilot CLI before, setting up GitHub MCP servers required you to enter just everything about the MCP server. So it looks like we've streamlined how you do this. Let's test it out. I have not tested it out. So let's see what this possibly looks like. Welcome to my screen. Okay, so let's go into documents. Yeah, let's go here. And let's see. Oh, it's really small for you. Hold on. Let me, let's start again. Let's zoom. Wow, this is really zoomed in for me. 1 second. Okay, but now you should be able to see things right now. One second here. Let's don't allow. I don't want that. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. I just wanted to get rid of the dock here. Great. So it was looking a little. Okay, so let's start up Copilot here. Let's make this a little bigger. All right, so if you've never used Copilot CLI before, this is what it looks like. So it tells you that I'm logged in as Lady Kerr. It tells me if I have MCP servers configured right here. And I'm also, and also I have the GitHub MCP server and the Playwright MCP server right here. So if I want to add a new MCP server, I could use /MCP, right? And I could do /MCP and then like show, add, edit, delete. But if I just do /MCP, it will tell me what commands are available to add a new MCP server. So if I press A, it's going to tell me to enter the server name, the server type, the command to start it, right? The command, the environment variables, arguments, and then the available tools. You can just do all to list all the to add all the available tools that's in that particular server. And that's how you add an MCP server to Copilot CLI, which I think is very great, very cool. There are also a lot more, a lot more commands that you can use. So if you do /, you can add a directory, you can clear, exit, do feedbacks, help, you can list directories available, log in, log out, session, right? Theme, user, lots of things. But the most important things you can do is send a request to GitHub Copilot. So I want to add some tests to the, let's say like landing banner component. Help, please help me do this, right? You send it off and Copilot goes ahead and does the work on your behalf that you can review and, go forth and do, right? Yeah, there is a /banner that you can do to get the, if you do Copilot --banner, you'll see the animation pop up. It's very zoomed in right now, which is why you can't really see it. If I zoom out, you'll be able to see it better. Hold on. There we go. So it didn't have the space to run. I think the banner is so cute. It's such a good banner. Let's clear. Let's do that again. Boom. There it is, right? You can also set it up to always run that banner if it's something that you want to see. But yeah, that's the Copilot CLI. Hopefully you've tried it. Would love to know what you think about it. But now you can use this syntax to add your variables to your MCP servers with the Copilot CLI. Is it better than Gemini? Do you mean is it better than Gemini's CLI? I don't know. Like as developers, as engineers, we like to have different tools in our toolbox. So, of course, I'm going to say that GitHub Copilot CLI is the best coding CLI tool because I genuinely believe that. I love GitHub. I love its products. But it's for you, you can try out all these different tools and decide which one works best for your use case. You know what I mean? So for me, I would say yes, of course it's better. But there are so many tools available in your toolbox. And I always like to choose GitHub because everything is kind of in one place. So it's on GitHub. So I don't have to vacillate between different tools and different places. Can we create agents inside the terminal like on Claude Code? So you're talking about sub agents, right? Yeah, those sub agents that you can do, like you can have a front end agent, this agent, blah, blah, blah. At this time, no. Not at this time. Not at this time. Not at this time. Anyway, yeah, looks like I think we already went through these other releases earlier in the month. But yeah, we're not doing any building today. Be sure to join us at GitHub Universe. Morgana, welcome. Nothing much is happening today. I was going through the changelog, answering questions, and just chilling. I was talking about GitHub Universe, and if you want to join us virtually, you can. It's 100% free, so just sign up on githubuniverse.com. And yeah, we weren't building any projects today. We're in full universe prep mode at GitHub, so it's been quite intense with preparations. Okay, so Eagle de Lewis, that is one of the only reasons you're not using GitHub Copilot CLI. I'll bring that back to the team. That is very good feedback. So for context, the question was asked, can we create agents inside the terminal like on Claude Code? Because I was showing Copilot CLI, and I said no. And then I asked if that's one of the only reasons they're not using Copilot CLI, and then they said yep. So that's definitely valuable feedback to send to the team, because they improve a lot the responses. They make the task for the agents more focused so they can perform better as expected. Right. Yeah, I have tried the sub agents where you can, like let's say, for example, you can have a front end agent that only does front end task, a testing agent, a linting agent, etc., security, all that jazz. So it does scope the context a lot better and make the agents more focused and more performant. But yeah, I'll send that feedback to the team to let them know. But if you don't have any more questions, I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream. I know it's just been a kind of a chit chat stream. But sometimes it sometimes it be like that. Also, hello Philip, I see you. Welcome. But yeah, I think that's all, folks. I think that's going to be it for today. Join us for GitHub Universe next week. If you're in person, be sure to come say hi. If you spot me, I do get overwhelmed at conferences sometimes. So if you see me with my headphones on, it means I'm trying to decompress. So just give me a second to decompress, and then I'll take the headphones off, which indicates that I'm good to go. But if you're gonna be there, say hi. Looking forward to seeing you. And if you can't be there in person, be sure to join us virtually for free. And I think that's a wrap. For today's stream. So, have a good day, friends. Bye. Okay, wait, one more thing. I just heard back from the team about the GitHub Universe passes. So in regards to signing up for the GitHub Universe passes, let me share my screen again. Hold on. There was a question. I just got the response. So if you click on Get Passes, just sign up for the updates, and then you will be added to the list for the free virtual event. That's how it's working. So just enter your email, select your country, click on submit, and then you'll be added to the session for the free virtual passes. Okay. That's it. Bye.